new from Radiance, number 109 in their range, and their first 4K UHD is Todd Solondz' Palindromes. Now, early on, we had Welcome to the Dollhouse, which was another Solondz film that did really well, and it was almost like rediscovering this filmmaker. Now, I watched his films when they came out, and it was something that I never really went back to. So revisiting these has been great, because in the 20 years since I last saw some of these films, I have changed and moved dramatically from that early person I once was into someone who can appreciate his films more now. I always found them kind of quirky and funny and touching taboo subject matter, but Palindromes itself is one that feels like it kind of just pushes the boundaries, which Solondz would ultimately continue to do.
I want to have lots and lots of babies, as many babies as possible, because that way I always have someone to love.
Now, in Palindromes here, we get to meet Aviva, a 13-year-old on a quest for unconditional love, portrayed by 8 different actors varying in age, race and gender, echoing the film's title, as she navigates pregnancy, runaway dramas, moral extremes and cult-like encounters. Each version of Aviva feels like the same, because of the essence of identity remains constant, no matter how you look or where you go. And it's an interesting idea that Solondz really revels in, particularly a lot throughout the filmmaking.
You're too young and innocent.
But I love you.
Oh God, I want to die. I want to die.
One of the things I love about the film is the use of the character Aviva as a palindrome herself, using radically different actors to illustrate that the core selves don't change with appearance, and it's a literal cinematic palindrome. You know, no matter how you look at it, it's still the same. It's the same character no matter how it is perceived or changed, how different the character looks. It's still a one-person character study, even though the outside is constantly changing, and I think that works incredibly well throughout the film. One of the things that the film does really well, considering some of the subject matter it touches upon, is the moral ambivalence. Even when it's looking at taboos, it tackles such extremes from youth pregnancy to religious violence without judgment. It feels like you're almost voyeuristically looking into certain circumstances. There's no judgment on anything that's happening here. It's just, here is a situation, take from it what you will. There's no preaching, there's no heavy-handedness to it. It just gives you a situation and allows the viewer to make up their own mind. And even though some of the things may be reprehensible to you, depending on your moral standpoint, the film is completely ambivalent in the way that it portrays it. That's something that's incredibly hard to do, because we all have our own perceptions, our own feelings about things, and normally that comes through. Palindromes is something very different in that manner.
I don't know how to say this, Bo, but when I examined her yesterday, yeah, that girl's a child whore.
I love the fact that it has this disorientating nature within it, changing the actress, changing the outside look of Aviva. Is really challenging the viewers to almost reconnect with Aviva every single time, emphasising that behaviour and choices define us more than our face or body. I think this is a great message to put across in the film, even though it's a film about some touchy subjects. That idea itself, that no matter how you look or what you offer the world in the form of your appearance or your face, the way your body shape is, it doesn't matter as much as the person you are and the person that you put forward to the outside world. I love that idea.
Who's in your friend?
This is Henrietta. I found her by the brook.
Hi, Henrietta.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Palindromes is a really interesting film. It is the blackest of black comedy. It has got some ridiculously over-the-top situations, but like I said, it never heightens them in a movie-centric way. When characters are doing something that are absurd, that is downright nasty or almost twisted, the film never pits it in one direction or the other. It just allows the scenes to play out and for us to make our own opinions on that. And you can see the ridiculousness of a lot of situations simply because of that. And it is laugh out loud funny, where you have those moments of clarity where you go, I shouldn't really be laughing at this. But the film takes over and you're kind of driven in that direction. Now, this is a 4K restoration from the original negative. It's done by Radiance. It's overseen by Solondz. And it's the first 4K release for the director. The picture quality I thought was great. The grain is there. It's cleaner, sharper, and it feels like a more faithful adaptation to original material, other than the old Blu-ray or DVD I used to have of this. The audio is great, presented in lossless quality without pointless remixing, and it just gives a good sound mix throughout the film. The extras are particularly strong again for Radiance, but let's dive into the disc and have a look at those. Here we are in the disc for Palindromes. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have Todd Solondz. Critic Hannah Strong talks to director Todd Solondz about the inspiration behind the making of Palindromes, filmed exclusively for Radiance in March 2025. This runs for 26 minutes and 17 seconds. It's a great interview where he gets into some fun facts, interesting information, and what inspired him and how this film came about. Next, we have Alexander Brickel. Actor Alexander Brickel talks about his experience working on Palindromes, recorded exclusively for Radiance in March 2025. It's an audio interview running at 14 minutes 14 seconds, where he's just talking about getting this role, watching the other Solondz movies with his parents to get a flavour of what the director did, and just really his appreciation and disbelief at the time has passed since making it. Next, we have Todd Solondz and his cinema of cruelty. In this visual essay, critic Lillian Crawford explores Todd Solondz's fascination with taboos and the representation of marginalised groups in Palindromes, created exclusively for Radiance in February 2025, and this runs for 11 minutes 58 seconds. It's really great in looking at Solondz's filmography as a whole, focusing on Welcome to the Dollhouse and how that impacts this film a little bit, looking at the taboos, looking at some of the things that influenced the film and how Solondz puts these under the microscope, but doesn't really paint a perspective, just puts the information out there for other people to interpret. Then there is the trailer. Also included in this set is a 40-page booklet with some great essays, but my particular favourite within the book was the director's statement and the director's notes. Although they're short, it's always great to hear from the filmmaker and what his intentions and memories are. And that's the extras for Palindromes. So there we have it. Palindromes is out now. You can pick up the dual format edition with the Blu-ray and the 4K UHD like I did, or you can pick up a standard Blu-ray on its own. I would love to know which version you picked up. Are you future-proofing and picking up the one with both like I am, or you went for an individual release? Do you enjoy this film? What do you think of it? Do you have any strong feelings? Do you want to let me know in the comment box below? Would you like to see more Solondz in the Radiance range? Again, drop a comment. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership program, ManVFilm.com. Always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.